Well, I think whenever I introduce this meeting, I always feel that it's touched with a little bit of a sadness tinge to it, because we do tend to classify the Bonfire Burn-Up as the season closer. It seems remarkable to me that we're already at the end of 2005's racing season. There's been some fantastic meetings this year. There's been, as usual, the high level of controversy about this, that and the other, but I'm not going to touch on that at all, because I think what everybody expects from today's meeting is we keep our fingers crossed for the weather. At the moment the rain is holding off and the track does look raceable. The entry, we know, is always going to be superb, and you know, they really have pulled out all the stops yet again. There's a fantastic tribute in the programme to Paul Hurry, and I do hope that he has a great day, because he really has capped a fantastic season. In the Sidecars, we hear that John Halsey is retiring, and there's a little bit in the programme about that as well. What can he do on his final meeting? It promises to be a great one. I was over the moon to hear that Rob Wilson had won the Masters, and we'll see him in action today. I'm sure that you're going to agree with me that the racing will be absolutely spot on. It always is here at the Burn-Up. And, well, of course, with the final curtain on the season, the fireworks and everything at the end, we look forward to a great day's racing. Well, I think whenever I talk to the riders at this meeting, it's always a bit of a double edge, really, because Kelvin, I mean, I've got to say, really, this is always disappointing. It's the end of the season, really, isn't it? But, you know, we keep our fingers crossed for the weather. How does it look to you?
Well, it is tricky out there, and you've got to use your head a little bit, you know, because conditions are difficult. But I've got to say, the efforts that by reseeding the track and there's grass on it, I think that's the saviour. I think if that hadn't happened, I don't think we'd be able to be out there at all. But it's going to be a tricky day, and just got to keep your wits about you.
Well, indeed you have, and I know that if I look back over this season, you've had the twinges of injuries and everything else, but all in all, a good year?
Yeah, I've enjoyed every time I've been racing. I haven't raced as much as I ordinarily did, but every time I've been, I've enjoyed myself. And it's a lot to ask if you don't ride for a long period of time to slip back into winning mode. But yeah, you know, I'm here and I'm looking forward to this event, and I'd like to try and finish the season off on a high.
Well, I think I totally agree with that one. So the very best of luck, Kelvin. Cheers, mate. Thanks. Well, as I've been mentioning, really, you know, this is the close to the season, and of course it's a chance to look back over this season as well as looking forward to today's racing. Rob Wilson, a good season all in all?
Yeah, definitely. We've yeah, I mean, we struggled the year before, but I think this year's been a good year for us, and yeah, I've enjoyed it, every minute of it. So hopefully we can have another good one today. But it's going to be hard work, as it always is.
Well, I think it is, but I mean, you're always popular with the crowd here at Tunbridge. You've had some great rides over the years, and you know, conditions are a little bit against us at the moment. As you say, it's going to be tricky, but it's anybody's, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I mean, if it was really lovely day, it's still going to be anybody's. But certainly the way it is now, it's a leveler. You know, you get off the line, you get filled in, you struggle a bit, you know. So you really got to get off that line and get going. So we'll see.
Well, absolutely. And Ian, I will bring you in because, you know, I know you've got the Masters title. It's been a good season all in all.
It's been a very good season. But he said if we had a good season, he'd retire. So in the wrong way, you know, you don't wish to have a good season, but no, we've had a great season. Brilliant.
Brilliant. Well, best of luck today, guys.
Cheers, Jim.
Yeah, hope to speak to you later.
Yeah, lovely.
Cheers,
mate.
Well, at the risk of being controversial, Richard, I've got to ask you, are you going to be out again next year?
To be quite honest, Jim, I don't honestly know. I'm so indecisive at the minute. Not sure what to make of it.
Well, obviously,
see how today goes.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was going to say that really. I mean, most of the riders are saying it's going to be tricky today. The weather's a bit against us, and it could be anybody's. But you know, I can see obviously you're working on the bike. You've been out for practice. You must be in with a chance with everybody else.
Yeah, we'll have a go. First time out with Craig, so we'll see how we gel together later on. Track is feeling quite grippy at the moment, although it's a bit wet. Only do our best.
Oh, absolutely. And I will get a word from you, Craig, because a bit of a different outing today.
Yeah, well, wasn't sure if our bike was going to sell, and Richard kept ringing me up and asking me if I wanted to ride with him, and the bike did sell, so here I am.
But obviously still enjoying it. You've had quite a lot of rides this year, haven't you?
Yeah, I've had a few with Dad and that, and I've been out on my own as well, so yeah.
Still loving the sport then?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Well, best of luck, guys, and as I say, I think it's going to be anybody's today, so you could be up there, you never know. Cheers.
Thanks, Em. See ya.
Well, as I've done with every rider today, really, I'm saying that this is a bit of a curtain closer, end of the season, but a good year all in all, Lewis.
Yeah, it's not been too bad. Fair ups and downs, more downs and ups. Yeah, let's hope today's closes the year good.
Yeah, well, it's obviously, I mean, the weatherman's played his part. It's going to be a tricky surface, isn't it? I mean, to me, that can sometimes be a leveller, that, some of the big engines and the fast boys can be sort of held back a little bit, can't they?
Yeah, it certainly equals it all out, but it's the most experienced rider down at the end of the day, isn't it? So.
Well, I don't think you're lacking any experience now. You've been around a few years, and I've seen you go as quick round here as everybody else.
Yeah, I like to give them a go.
Well, give them a go you will indeed, so have a great day.
Okay then, thanks
Cheers.
a lot then.
Well, I'm sure it's a great disappointment, but I'm disappointed to see that you're standing here in the pits, Paul, watching everybody else go round.
Yeah, that's the hard bit, watching all the other boys having a skid. It's a track that I really enjoy riding, although my luck round here has never been very good. But I just thought I'd come down and see the last meeting of the season and see a couple of guys catch up before Christmas, and it's good to be here, really.
Well, absolutely. I mean, I've been saying to all the riders, really, that it's always a bit sad that this really is the curtain closer now, isn't it? And, everybody wants to go out on a high, everybody wants to win this one. But, what is the news on the injury? Are you likely to do back next year?
Yeah, the injury's going pretty well at the moment. I'm getting full ranges of movements back. It's just taking a while, and it's still a bit stiff. But we'll definitely be back skidding next year. The plan's to be on the bike probably January, February time to do a few practice meetings on one of the 2 speedway tracks, just to get a bit of strength back in it, and also just a bit of motocross, nothing major, just my friend's got a practice track, and just try and build up the muscles and the strength, really, and then we'll be back next year.
Oh, excellent. Well, that's good news. Obviously, all the best wishes from everybody involved in the sport. You're a great entertainer, and we want to see you back out there.
Well, thank you very much. Cheers.
All the best. Cheers. Well, Paul, I mean, I had to have a word, really. A tremendous ride up in the programme. It's been a great season, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been one of those years where I've sort of put a lot of work into it, and I couldn't really expect a lot more to come out of it, really, even though I've had the sort of injuries that I've had. So yeah, it's been a tremendous year, really.
Yeah, and I think that's really, what I've been saying to riders this morning is this is the season closer, really, isn't it? Everybody wants to go out on a high, but although you've had some great results, you have had to fight with those injuries, haven't you, all year?
Yeah, it's been quite tough, really. I've never known it. Well, hopefully I won't know it again. But yeah, it's been sort of unknown sort of injury, and how do you push it, what do you do, and how do you get yourself right. But obviously this year I've tried to do as much training as I can to build the arm up to compensate for whatever's in there. So yeah, it's been a bit of a nightmare, but like you said, at the end of the day I've had quite a good year, so I'm not complaining.
No, that's right. I mean, the results speak for themselves, and you've got to be really tipped as being one of the favourites for today. It's going to be tough. Everybody's talking about the conditions. The weatherman hasn't been kind to us, has he?
No, it's going to be tough, and it's quite deep and stodgy, but as long as we put on a show for the public and Kevin and Drew are fairly happy and they can carry on next year, then so be it. That's what we're mainly here for. If it's like a championship round, it tends to have a bit of a different matter. But basically, if we can get it on and keep it on and get all the people in as much as we can, then yeah, it's cool.
You're absolutely right. I mean, this meeting really is built about everybody having a good day. It's spectacular racing, which I'm sure we're going to see. Best of luck, mate.
I'll need it.
Well, fantastic to see you back here once again, Yannick. I know you've ridden this circuit before, but very, very tricky position today.
I don't know. The track's very different, and I hope the track dries and the dirt gets off on the outside, so it'll be a little more easier to maybe overtake somebody on the outside. But I think that the ideal racing line today will be on the inside.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, they've decided to pull the track in slightly. I think the last time I saw you ride here, it was a very, very dry evening, and it was a fantastic circuit. But who knows? I mean, if the weather does hold off, we could have a great racing circuit later in the day.
We'll see. But right now we have to do it with what we got, and
absolutely, yeah. I mean, I think what I've been saying to a lot of the riders is that we tend to see this one as the end of the season, and it's a chance to reflect back on what we've done during the year. You've had a very good year, haven't you?
Well, I've had on the beginning I was going very well, but at the end of the season I'm not very pleased about that. A few times I had a bit of bad luck and mechanical problems. But it's all part of racing, so...
you're absolutely right. So I think really, Yannick, I mean, you can say that the crowd enjoyed you last time you were here. I hope you have a great day today.
Oh, thank you very much, and
excellent.
Same to you too.
Thank you.
Right, riders coming out for the first race of the afternoon, 2005 Bonfire Burnup race number 1. Andrew Appleton, Daniel Gifford, Lewis Denham, Jason Handley, Stephen Capp, the change to the programme. In for the absent Gerd Riss, Richard Smith, Theo Piper and Steve Bradford are the riders we're looking for the opening race of the afternoon. Good afternoon and welcome to any latecomers. You can see we've moved the track in to keep them off the wet stuff on the outside after heavy overnight rain, but thankfully we do have a meeting. It went very, very well in practice and we should have a cracking Bonfire Burnup for 2005. A couple of riders still to appear from the pits. We can see Andrew Appleton going towards the inside of the grid. He's in gate 2. Daniel Gifford next to him. Richard Smith next to him, then Lewis Denham. 89 Theo Piper next to him, then Jason Handley coming towards the edge of the grid of Steve Bradford. Stephen Catt goes one on the inside of the grid for the opening race of the afternoon. Well, there we go, Andrew hasn't made the best of starts. Lewis Denham leads into that top gun. Looks like it's number 89, that's Theo Piper, that's gone round the outside, leads in the back straight the first time. Lewis Denham goes really wide, and Andrew Appleton slips through into that second place position. Jason Handley holds the fourth place. Steve Bradford working his way to the field. Jason Handley looking at that third place of Lewis Denham, as it's Theo Piper leads to come completely over there. So Andrew Appleton in second, Jason Handley in third, Lewis Denham in 4, Steve Bradford in 5, Daniel Gifford in 6, and Stephen Catt surprising one at the back as they go in the back straight once again. Then Piper with a clear lead, tremendous scrap going on for second and third, and Jason Handley now moves through into that second place position. He's come through from 5th to 2nd, and it's Piper leads Gifford in 2 then, and Handley in 2nd place, Appleton in 3rd. Looks like Bradford's gone through into 4th. We look at the lead in 3 going down the back straight once again. It's Piper storming away to front, Handley consolidating that 2nd place with Appleton in 3rd. That's the top 3 and a long way clear of the remainder of the field. As moving on to lap 4 then, it's Piper with a tremendous lead over Handley in 2nd place there, followed by Appleton in 3rd. We look back to the 4th and 5th place riders as Piper halfway down the back straight on lap number 4, looks behind him to see Handley in 2nd place. It's number 22, Daniel Gifford gone through in the 4th, with Catt now up to 5, Bradford in 6th, Denham way back in 7th, with Smith in 8th, as the win is taken there by Theo Piper. 2nd place goes to Jason Handley, 3rd place is Andrew Appleton. That's the top 3. We look back and it's still Daniel Gifford hanging on to that 4th place position. Stephen Catt definitely getting closer in 5. As Daniel Gifford picks up the 4 from Stephen Catt in 5, Steve Bradford in 6, Lewis Denham in 7th, and Richard Smith in 8th place. Result of race number 1, a win for number 89, Theo Piper. 2nd, number 95, Jason Handley, and 3rd, number 4, Andrew Appleton. 22, 11, 215, 81, 33, winning time 1 minute 24.26, 1 minute 24.26, the speed 63.70 miles per hour, 63.70 miles per hour. On we go then to race number 2 with Jamie Rogers in for the absent Dave Mears. Yannick de Jong, who went so well here of course in the floodlit meeting, won from the inside. Rennie Van Wheel right on the inside, one on the outside, Paul Hurry. Next to him is Glenn Phillips movement working her way through from the outside. Next to him is Jamie Rogers. The vastly experienced Trevor Banks lines up alongside him. And we've got 24 Dean Barker, still waiting for one rider to come out from the pits. Looks like we're waiting for Thomas Cooper to come out from the pits for race number 2. The missing rider coming out from the pits. So it looks if the reserves coming in for race number 2, that's going to be Mitch Godden, number 9. Mitch Godden comes in as reserve for race number 2. So they settle in for race 2, away they go, Glenn Phillips making a good start, Paul Hurry gets That's it with number 8, Rennie Van Weel goes through on the inside, but it's Paul Hurley who sweeps round the outside of that top corner. Van Weel holds the second place, but lose that second place to Glenn Phillips. They go in the back straight once again. It's Hurley with the lead then. From Phillips has gone through in a second. Van Weel holds the third place. That's the top three as they come by us to complete the opening lap then. And as Paul Cooper got problems, Paul Cooper, it's Paul Hurley's got problems there. And Glenn Phillips hits the front then with Van Weel in second place. The experience of Trevor Banks sees him go through into that third place position. So bad luck on Paul Hurley. Had a chain come off a couple of times in practice. Has got problems in his first race so far this afternoon, but Phillips still leads it then from Van Weel in second position. Phillips leads. They come to complete lap number 2 from Van Weel in second place. It's Mitch Cotton has worked his way through into third. Yannick Lejeune in fourth. Jamie Rogers in 5. That's the top 5, and somebody's pulling again on that top corner. They're dropping like flies in this one as they go in the back straight once again. Quite a few riders have pulled out going down the back straight. And looks like a complete change of positions now for race number 2. As it's number 8, Rennie Van Weel, that now leads it from Mitch Cotton in second. We've got Yannick Lejeune in third, Jamie Rogers in fourth, so we've lost the race leader, Glenn Phillips on that back straight as well. So 2 riders, well, leading the race have pulled out of race number 2. And it is still Van Weel who leads into the pits corner for the final time. Tremendous scrap going on for second and third places as Rennie Van Weel comes to the win race number 2. It's going to be tight for second and third. It's number 10, Yannick Lejeune, that gets the second. For the reserve, Mitch Godden picking up the third. Jamie Rogers in fourth place. Eventful race 2, and we lost both the race leaders, Paul Hurley on the first lap and Glenn Phillips on the third lap, result in a race win for number 8, Rennie Van Weel. Second, number 10, Yannick Lejeune. And third, number 9, the reserve, Mitch Godden, who came in to replace number 153, Thomas Cooper. Fourth, number 19, Jamie Rogers. 1 minute 32.13, 1 minute 32.13, 58.26 miles per hour, 58.26 miles per hour. Race 3, Vince Kinchin's number 44 in place of Chris Harris, and Martin Sturgeon's number 20 in place of David Howe. Coming into line then for race number 3, Alvin Tatum towards the outside of the grid with Christophe Dubinard next to him. Number 25, Neville Tatum right on the outside as they settle in for race number 3. 30 for the first leg of solo. So away they go, Tatum flies then to start. Number 23, Edward Kennedy's gone with him, but they get the corner first as Tatum leads into that top corner. Christophe Dubinard going really wide up on that top corner as Tatum leads going down the back straight for the first time around and working his way through into the second place position. They're bunching up for the second and third places. Tatum is the clear leader as they come by to complete the opening lap. It's Tatum who made the start. He makes it count there, but as they come by us for the first time. It's 23, Edward Kennedy has gone through in a second. 97, Philip Austin is in third. He's lost that third place to Vince Kinchin as they go to the back straight once again. Tatum is the clear leader from Kennedy in second, Kinchin in third, Austin is in fourth as they go to the back straight once again, getting a little bit spread out now in race number 3 as Calvin Tatum is still the leader, continuing lap number 2. He's pulling a long way clear of Edward Kennedy. That's a good ride there in the second place position. Vince Kinchin has got the third with 97, Philip Austin in fourth, 98, Christophe Dubinard goes through into fifth place as we see Tatum the length of a straight clear as he goes into that pits corner on lap number 3. The last lap flag out then for number 1, the former world long track champion Calvin Tatum, well clear at the front from Edward Kenning, having a fine ride in second place. Kinchin holds the third, but coming under pressure for that third place. The rider in fifth place has dropped in on that pits corner. Good scrap for number 3rd and 4th between Christophe Dubinard and Vince Kinchin for 3rd and 4th places. And Kinchin has lost that third place, but he's getting back round the outside of that top corner. Good scrap for number 3rd and 4th places as Calvin Tatum wins race number 3. We're looking for Edward Kennedy to pick up the second place. Fine ride there by Edward Kennedy to get the second place. Good scrap then on for 3rd and 4th. It's number 98, Christophe Dubinard, who gets the third with Vince Kinchin in 4th. And we've got number 20, Martin Sturgeon in 5th place. The result then of race number 3, it's a win for number 1, Calvin Tatum. Second, number 23, Edward Kennett. And third, number 98, Christophe Dubernard. 44, 20, 97, 25, 1 minute 31.44, 1 minute 31.44, 58.70 miles per hour. Over to Jim for the first of the sidecar heats.
Thanks, Colin. And indeed, I think we've seen straight away the effects of the conditions. Riders getting out comfortably in front, looking to have things all their own way as the rest of the riders behind them have to fight with the increasing amount of mud that's being thrown at them. So, will it affect the sidecars? I suspect it possibly will. Let's look to race 4, and we see for the first time this afternoon James Rogers and Chris Wall, Paul Bickley, Paul Silvera, Ivor Matthews, and change of passenger this afternoon for Ivor. He's got Kevin Williams riding for him this afternoon. Colin Blackburn and Paul Whitelam Jr., Clive Stoneman and Roland Broomfield, Duncan Tolhurst and Carl Pugh. So as you watch with interest then, what will the sidecars make of the conditions this afternoon? We've got some very strong competitors in this sidecar competition this afternoon, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of anxious drivers sitting in that pit box watching to see what happens in this first one of the afternoon. Duncan Tolhurst it is that's got effectively the racing line to start from. He's right on the outside here. Carl and Duncan desperately trying to pull the machinery back a little bit to give him a different line from that start. I think Duncan's trying to actually get it over a couple of yards to still Duncan not happy with how he's lining up to that start line. Carl cleans the boots, jumps on the back. Up go the tapes and we get underway, and Duncan Tolhurst has made a very good start. But best of all, from the middle of the gate goes number 25. That's the outfit of Colin Blackburn and Paul Whitelam Jr. As the rest bunch up into that first turn, I can see Ivor Matthews trying to get up the inside and up into third place as he comes out of that first turn. But while all that's going on in second and third place, you can see that Colin Blackburn and Paul Whitelam Jr. have had the chance to get away. So taking up the challenge in second place then is right fit number 4, James Rogers and Chris Wall. They've certainly not got things all their own way as everybody else is getting close to them. But there's a big gap now for Colin Blackburn as he moves away going up that back straight. And has time to really take it very carefully around that top turn. And I'm sure a lot of supporters disappointed to see Duncan Tolhurst back there, back of the field. I don't know whether there's been problems, whether he just has suffered the conditions. You can see that both Carl and Duncan have absolutely been filled in. Well, I think the rest of the riders that are sitting in that pit box will see exactly what's happened in front of them. Colin Blackburn has had the luxury of getting away from that start line. And remember, he started from the middle of the gate, which effectively was just on the grass edge. And there's certainly no catching him at the moment. Still the battles go on at the back of the field. Duncan Tolhurst trying to get round Paul Bickley to improve his position. But while all that's going on, we see the first win of the afternoon for the sidecars, and it's a win for number 25, Colin Blackburn and Paul Whitelam Jr. So, race 4 in your programme, the first of the sidecars for this afternoon, and a win for number 25, Colin Blackburn and Paul Whitelam Jr. In second place, number 4, James Rogers, Chris Wall. In third place, number 15, Ivor Matthews and Kevin Williams. Fourth place, number 57, Clive Stoneman and Roland Broomfield. Fifth place, number 8, that's Paul Bickley, Paul Silvera. And sixth place there, number 74, a disappointing start to the afternoon for Duncan Tolhurst and Carl Pugh. The winning time, 1:41.52, 1:41.52, And for those of you that keep the averages, they average 52.87. 52.87. So, race 5 coming to the line, and the outfit's already making their way across the centre green. And as I can hear on the radios that they are directing them to the gate positions. There are no marked gate positions on the track itself. And you'll see in the brackets in your programme, that's effectively the position they should line up to. So Paul Whitelam taking grid 2, he's gone right to the inside there. Ryan Partridge should go on the inside of him. They number from the inside to the outside of the track. So outfit number 60, Richard Thomas and Craig Parmiter. Combination that's come together for the first time this afternoon. I did get a chance to speak to Craig this morning. He said he's enjoyed his racing, he even had a go at driving himself this year. We embarrassed him sufficiently enough to get him on the videotape, so that's worth buying the DVD for that one alone. And he said he's looking forward to the racing this afternoon. I did try and push the question when I spoke to Richard himself whether this was going to be the last season, and I'm sorry to say at the moment he's completely undecided. He said he's really not made up his mind whatsoever, so we kind of keep our fingers crossed for the winter months and hope that we will see him back out again next year. Last of the outfits appearing from the pits, that's Paul Johnson and Kevin Colborne. And he's quite happy to let everybody wait even longer for him. Look, he's going to have another practice over in the centre green. So the starter anxiously trying to get them all up to the starting tapes. Paul Johnson the last to come in line, and as Paul Whitelam stalled it while he's been waiting for everybody else. I suspect that is the problem. Quickly gets the machinery going. And now Paul Johnson's decided he wants to pull back off the start line. So very important this start this afternoon, all the games being played. Up go the tapes. A lot of problems on the start line for Paul Johnson. Paul Whitelam pushing to get into the front, but he loses out going into that first turn. Oh, Paul Johnson still not able to get machinery going. The rest of the crews will be coming round past him now as we watch them come off that top turn. And it is outfit number 69, Matt Tyrrell and Sean Yates, who have got the best of the starts. In second place to them, as they were indeed in that first turn, Paul Whitelam and Terence Daughters. And it's Richard Thomas, Craig Parmiter in that third place, drifting slightly wide on that pit bend. I mentioned to you earlier that a lot of the riders were saying they were finding a lot of drive, a lot of grip out there, and I think it's possibly forcing them to drive wide on the exit of the pit. The positions staying very much as they were. Matt Tyrrell and Sean Yates won't mind that at all. Probably sat in that pit box and watched Colin Blackburn get away from the rest of the field, and they've done exactly the same thing. Paul Johnson retiring, Steve Smith has pulled out as well. But one more lap to go. And maximum points will go to Matt Tyrrell and Sean Yates. Obviously some sort of mechanical problem with Steve Smith. He joins the racing line again, but he's certainly not up to race speed yet. And just one more lap to go for Matt Tyrrell and Sean Yates to complete the victory in their first ride this afternoon. So race 5, and with all the retirements, only 3 finishes there. The win certainly going to outfit number 69. That's the outfit of Matt Tyrrell and Sean Yates. In second place to them, number 92, Paul Whitelam and Terry Saunders. In third place, outfit number 60, Richard Thomas and Craig Parmenter. 1:42.86 was the winning time, 1:42.86, 52.33 they averaged. We now turn our attention to race 6 in your programme, and out for the first time this afternoon, Matt Fromroller and Andy Wilson, Miles Simmons and Kevin Woodley, Chris Winterburn and Jamie Laurie, Rob and Tristan Winterburn, Rob Wilson, Ian Whale, Gary Jackson and Carl Blythe. Those of you that travelled down to the West Country last weekend will of course know that Miles Simmons and Kevin Woodley had a good win in the Phil Pitman Memorial Trophy meeting. Understand that that suffered with the weather as well. So perhaps that experience last weekend will put them in good stead this afternoon as they get underway. Rob Wilson made a very good start. Gary Jackson trying to stay with him, with absolutely filled in going into that first turn. But it is Rob Wilson and Ian Well that have got away. They pull away going up the back straight. Miles Simmons trying to stay with them. No, he's not letting him get away. Miles Simmons chases him down that back straight and into the top turn. There's changes further down the field as well as they sort themselves out going into that top bend for the first time and down past us to complete lap 1. Rob Wilson and Ian Well setting the pace. Miles Simmons and Kevin Woodley in second. Matt Fromroller, Andy Wilson in third. The bigger gap really is between second and third. Miles Simmons is desperately trying to make sure Rob Wilson doesn't get away from him. And we lose one outfit on the far side. And I can see that the clerk of the course has indeed put a red flag out. Rob Wilson, I'm sure, will be disappointed to see that. I'm sure that Miles Simmons will be thinking perhaps he can have another go. So race 7 this is then, the one at the bottom of the page, and coming right to the outside is Simon Wall and Kevin Jones. Next to them, Ian Lee Amos and Simon Beanie. From that grid 3 where we've seen possibly the better starts this afternoon, you've got John Halsey and Jason Glennie, John Hiscock, Gareth Bemister on the inside of them, and right on the inside Rick McCauley and Phil Stoneman. So away we go. Ian Lee Amos has made a good start. John Halsey's made a good one. John Hiscock even better though on the inside, and it's John Hiscock who just gets his nose in front of that first turn, but he's got John Halsey right there with him. All sorts of problems for, I think, possibly Peter Lloyd on that first turn, and the red flags are out in the interest of safety. We've still got the outfit on the racing line. So as things were hotting up between John Hiscock and John Halsey, they're brought to a halt, and we'll have to bring them back to the start line once again. So things getting very tricky on that first turn. Colin, looks like we've got race 8 coming out.
Thank you very much, Jim. It is race 8 coming out, and the 3 changes, of course, in race 8. Jamie Rogers will be number 19, Vince Kinchin will be number 44, and Stefan Cat will be number 11. Christophe Dubernard is out in this one. Paul Hurry, of course, will be desperate for points, having an issue failing his first ride. Interesting that Thomas Cooper, after missing his opening ride, comes out to ride in this one. Vince Kinchin picked up a third place in his first ride. Rennie Van Weel was a winner, of course, first time out, so he'll be anxious to get good points again in this race. Number 8. We're on the inside, we've got number 24, Dean Barker, Paul Hurry next to him, then Thomas Cooper, Vince Kinchin comes in line next to him, then we've got Jamie Rogers, then Stefan Cat, and we're on the outside, number 8, Rennie Van Weel, winner first time out. Red flags after that, we've got a rider just coming to join the riders from the pits. It's number 98, Christophe Dubernard. He's got a third place in his first outing. He goes into gate number 3 for this race number 8. Ready for action then for heat number 8 on the second leg of the solo. The way they go, Paul Hurry making a good start. Dean Barker's gone as well. Jamie Rogers in the act as well for Paul. It is Paul Hurry who gets the corner first. Jamie Rogers holds his second place. Bishop Vince Kinchin working his way into the field as Paul Hurry leads the back straight then for the first time. It's Jamie Rogers doing the chasing in second place. They enter the pits corner for the first time. Change of tactics. Paul Hurry goes really wide. Jamie Rogers went inside but drifted off the line as Paul Hurry leads them. But Jamie Rogers in second place. Dean Barker in third. Vince Kinchin 4. Rennie Van Weel in 5. That's the top 5 as they go to the back straight once again. And Paul Hurry again taking the wide line, getting the better grip on the corners. Looks behind him to see Jamie Rogers still holding that second place with Dean Barker in third, being closed down by Vince Kinchin and somebody else working. Then looks like Rennie Van Weel working his way through the field at the moment. And it's Hurry who leads, but Rogers is not too far behind. The change of lines again while they're leading 2 riders. Kinchin in second, Van Weel now goes to the third. Relegating Kinchin in 4. Barker is in 5 as they go to the back straight once again. It's still Hurry who leads, but again Rogers closed the gap on the entry to that pits corner on lap number 3. Van Weel has gone through in the third, relegating Kinchin to 4th, and Rogers got a face full of mud on that bottom. Oh, and Jamie Rogers drops it while holding the second place as Paul Hurry leads it then. And Rennie Van Weel has gone through in the second. Vince Kinchin holds the third place. 98 Christophe Dubernard's in 4th with Stefan Cat in 5, Thomas Cooper in 6 as the leader. Paul Hurry into the pits corner for the final time, and then it's going to be Paul Hurry that comes for the win. Race number 8 needs the points, of course, an engine failure first time out. Rennie Van Weel has worked his way to the field and come through into second place. He's followed by Vince Kinchin in third. Behind the 4th and 5th, 98. That's Christophe Dubernard just ahead of 11, Stefan Cat, and finally 153, Thomas Cooper. Race 8 then, the win for number 86, Paul Hurry. Second, number 8, Rennie Van Weel, and third, number 44, Vince Kinchin. 98, 11, 153. Winning time 1 minute 31.49, 1 minute 31.49. The average speed 58.66, 58.66. Looks like we're going to go back, I would think, to race 6. Race 6, so over to Jim for the restart of race number 6.
Well, thanks, Colin. Nice to see Paul Hurry, after that disappointment of his first ride, getting a win second time out. As you quite rightly say, he's got to score extremely well in his remaining rides to make sure of getting into that Big A final at the end of the day. And as I quickly check my programme, there is the opportunity, of course, over 4 legs. It's always almost impossible over 3 legs, but when there's 4-point scoring rides, you can make up the deficit. As we quite rightly turn our attention now back to the sidecars, and it's race 6 in your programme. Remind you that leading that before it was stopped was number 24, Rob Wilson, and Ian Whale, of course, the 2005 British Masters champions. But close to them was number 9, Miles Simmons. So what can happen this time? They both know what they're capable of, and they get underway, and Rob Wilson has made a tremendous start. Well, almost too good, I think. Great anticipation, I call that. But obviously the start has seen it differently. So the start marshal having a quick word with the clerk of the course. I don't know what's going to be decided, if anything. So all 6 allowed back to the restart, or 5 even. Well, a much more even start this time, and Miles Simmons, I fear, has got the better of it as they go into that first turn. Rob Wilson has to leave the gap for him and let him through, but he stayed wide, Rob Wilson. Matt Frumroler's seen a gap on the inside and he gets up in the second. So Rob Wilson and Ian Well now have got the work to do, sitting back in 3rd place. As you can see, they've got Matt Frumroler just in front of them. But out in the lead at the moment is number 9, Miles Simmons and Kevin Woodley. So they've got the daylight, they've got the clear run, as Rob Wilson has been absolutely filled in. He stayed very close to the back wheel of Matt Frumroler, and it's not done him any favours whatsoever as they go round that bottom pit turn and up the back straight. Still not letting him get away, but there is a gap now developing between number 1 and number 2. That's Miles Simmons and Kevin Woodley that are getting away. And they're making it look very comfortable at the moment as they go into the last lap. Still Rob Wilson not giving up the fight. The goggles have gone, but he's still staying very, very close to Matt Frumroler. And was that the last lap flag I saw then? Oh well. Well, I suppose they did a couple of laps before it was stopped and restarted, so... Miles Simmons it is that gets the win. Matt Frumroler in 2nd and Rob Wilson in 3rd. And we suspect that that was only 3 laps. So I've just had it confirmed from the track officials that they are cutting the races down to 3. So that wasn't just a mistake. I knew you wouldn't make a mistake out there, don't I? Hey? Professionals to the hilt. Right, race 6 it was, and the official result reads as a win for outfit number 9, Miles Simmons and Kevin Woodley. 2nd place, number 5, Matt Frumroler and Andy Wilson. 3rd place, number 24, Rob Wilson and Ian Whale. 4th place, number 23, Gary Jackson and Carl Blythe. And 5th place, number 14, that's Chris Winterburn and Jamie Laurie. 1:19.77 was the time. 1:19.77. And obviously over 3 laps, my learned officials next to me have had to recalculate things to get you to speed. As we've already got race 7 on the line, and they get underway and into that first turn. Breaking into the first turn, that's John Halsey and Jason Glennie. They didn't have it all their own way before the race was stopped. They've now made a better start this time. And is the advantage going to be sufficient that they can stay in front as they go round that first turn? It's John Hiscock that's taking up the challenge, sitting there in 2nd place. He of course had the lead before the race was stopped. Ian Lee Amos in 3rd place at the moment, but all eyes I'm sure on those front 2. John Halsey certainly not getting it all his own way. Tries to get away going up that back straight. Carefully takes it round that top bend. And straight away, of course, you'll see that they go into the last lap flag. So the race is cut down to 3 laps. John Hiscock knows he's only got this lap to do it if he's going to get maximum points. Up the back straight they go for the last time in this, the first ride. As quickly we've got the checker flag being raised, and off that top turn comes John Halsey to get a win in his first ride of the afternoon. John Halsey, Jason Glennie take it, John Hiscock and Gareth Bemister in 2nd. So, completing the first leg rides for the sidecar competition, the start of the 2005 Burn-Up Race number 7 in your programme, the official result reads as a win for number 13, John Halsey and Jason Glennie. In second place, number 184, John Hiscock and Gareth Bemister. Third place, number 87, Ian Lee Amos and Simon Beanie. In fourth place, number 51, Rick McCauley, Phil Stoneman. And fifth place, number 21, Simon Wall. The winning time, 119.40. 119.40, that's an average of 50.69. And for those of you that keep your programmes 100%, the average speed for race 6 was 50.45. 50.45. Over the page we go, it's race 9 in your programme, Colin.
Thank you very much, Jim. They've on at 4, race 9. Calvin Tatum on the middle of the grid, winner first time out. Glenn Phillips needs the points, having pulled out of his first ride. Andrew Appleton picked up a third place in his first outing, and into John for the second place. Away and gets an absolute fire from the middle of the grid. Andrew Appleton's a rider that go with him. They go in the top corner for the first time. There is Tatum who leads. Appleton takes a wide on that first corner. Looks like Glenn Phillips has gone through into the second place, gets ahead of Andrew Appleton, who went too wide upon that top corner. Tatum picks his way into that pits corner on the opening lap then. It's Phillips holding the second place, Tatum on the mid-track. Phillips taking a much larger line than Tatum leads then, but Phillips in second. It's Appleton in third, Rayford is in 4, Yannick de Jong in 5, Lewis Denham in 6, 97 Philip Austin in 7. That's the top 7 as they go down the back straight. Once again, it's Tatum who leads. Glenn Phillips not too far behind, looking for opening through. We've got Rodder dropped it over on that far side. One of the Rodders has gone down over on the far side of the track. The racing continues with Tatum leading. Phillips not too far behind in second. It's Andrew Appleton in third. Yellow flags are out. They move down the back straight. Is it Lewis Denham that's gone down over on that far side? Still Tatum as the leader then. Then Glenn Phillips can't close that little gap between him and Calvin Tatum at first and second place. Now Phillips makes a move. He's trying to come through on the edge of Tatum as Tatum slides wide. Coming out of that pits corner, Phillips comes up the inside and Glenn Phillips gets the winning ride. Second is Calvin Tatum. Third place goes to Andrew Appleton. Fourth place is number 10, Yannick de Jong. Steve Brayford has pulled out the race just ahead of us. It looked very much as if it was Lewis Denham that dropped it over on the far side in race number 9. Next across the line is number 97, Philip Austin. And finally, number 22, Daniel Gifford. Super action in race number 9. Impressive win for number 42, Glenn Phillips. Second, number 1, Calvin Tatum. And third, number 4, Andrew Appleton. 10, 97, 22. Winning time, 1 minute 7.85, 1 minute 7.85. The average speed, 59.31 miles per hour, 59.31 miles per hour. Race 10, the one change, David Howe is out, Martin Sturgeon comes in to replace him as rider number 20. Jason Hanley, impressive second place. First out, as did Edward Kennett, pick up a second place. Theo Piper won his opening ride. Taking their time to come into line then for race number 10. We've got Jamie Ishwood, Ron on the outside. Next to him is Jason Hanley. Inside we've got Trevor Banks, then we've got Richard Smith, 25 Neville Tatum in the middle of the grid for race number 10. Stars number 89. That's Theo Piper, leads into the top corner. Jason Hanley taking a big hump around the outside of that top corner. He's on the shoulder of Piper as they go down the back straight for the first time. Piper leads you, but Hanley in second. Trevor Banks has gone through in the third. Looks at Richard Smith's followed in through into that fourth place position. As it's still Piper who leads you then for the hard riding. Hanley in second place. They completely over. Piper leads it. Hanley is in second. Banks in third. Smith in fourth. Number 20. Of course, it's Martin Sturgeon in 5, then that's followed by Neville Tatum in 6. That's the top 6 as Piper leads, but Handley is starting to close the gap as they go into the pits corner. Once again, they both ride identical lines on that pits corner, but Handley comes out of the corner of the Tiger, and Handley's on the shoulder of Piper now as they go in the top corner. On the last lap, Piper leads him, but Handley in second, it's Banks in third, with Smith in 4. We look at that scrap at the front, Piper making the mistake, and Handley's coming through on the inside. They lock shoulder to shoulder, going into that pits corner. Superb racing in these difficult conditions. Can Jason Handley hold the line? Yes, he can. He's got the measure of Theo Piper. Brilliant ride by Jason Handley. He wins it. Second is Theo Piper. Trevor Banks is coming across the line in third place position. Then we've got Richard Smith to pick up the 4th place, there followed by 25 Neville Tatum. Then number 23, that's Edward Kennan, and finally number 20, that's Martin Sturgeon, who isn't the last. In fact, it's number 99, Jamie Isherwood. But what a superb ride there by Jason Handley in race number 10. Super action in race number 10. A brilliant win to number 95, Jason Handley. Second, number 89, Theo Piper. And third, number 21, Trevor Banks. 33, 25, 23, 20 and 99. Winning time 1 minute 4.19. 1 minute 4.19. The winning time coming through from the back in the second quickest time so far this afternoon for the solos, 62.70 miles per hour. 62.70 miles per hour. So that concludes the second round of the solos. Back to Jim for race 11.
And it's between Steve Smith, Clive Stoneman, Ryan Partridge, Duncan Tollers, Rick McCauley and Chris Winterburn. And in fact, looking at their first leg results, none of the 6 have scored well at all. And the best really is a 4th place for Clive Stoneman. Duncan had a disastrous start in his first ride, so perhaps he can make up for that this time. Well, we were struggling to identify number 14, Rick McCall. No, that's Chris Winterburn, and eventually we're still waiting for Rick McCauley. He eventually comes across the centre green. So Steve Smith and Carl Squirrel right on the inside as Rick McCauley now joins the rest of the riders on the start line. Starters move away. And away they go. Duncan Tollers starting to make a good start, but I don't know whether that was a missed gear change as he pulled off there, but he's allowed the rest of the field to go by him. As they come off that first turn, 4 outfits together as they go up that back straight. Clive Stoneman, like you see, moving up on the inside, has got himself up into 2nd place. Steve Smith right there in 3rd spot. As they come round past us for the first time, it is Chris Winterburn that's got the lead. Clive Stoneman in 2nd. Duncan Tollers back in 4th place at the moment. Certainly fighting with the conditions back there. Chris Winterburn won't mind at all. Chris Winterburn and Jamie Laurie get away. Clive Stoneman trying to stay with him as they go up that back straight, and Steve Smith not too far away in that 3rd spot as well. So 1 more lap to go then for this, the first of the second leg rides. And at the moment, no change. Duncan Tollers perhaps getting closer and closer to Steve Smith. I wonder if there's going to be a challenge there. The gap really opened up between 2nd and 3rd place. But I don't suspect there's going to be any changes. As we see the checkered flag go, it is going to be Chris Winterburn that's led from start to finish. He gets his first win of the afternoon. So, race 11 then. We start the second leg for the Sidecars, and a win, their first of the afternoon for number 14, Chris Winterburn and Jamie Laurie. 2nd place, number 57, Clive Stoneman and Roland Broomfield. 3rd place, number 2, Steve Smith, Carl Squirrel. 4th place, number 74, Duncan Tollers to Carl Pugh. 5th place, number 51, Rick McCauley, Phil Stoneman. And 6th place finisher there, number 514, Ryan Partridge and Andy Colvin. The winning time was 123.34, 123.34, 48.29 they averaged. Now, as we look at race 12, we do have one of the first leg winners. That's number 13, John Halsey and Jason Glennie. Probably the closest to them in terms of finishing positions was number 5, Matt Framarola. He had a 2nd first time out. Ira Matthews had a 3rd place first time out. anxiously looking at the pits there to see if there is going to be another rider coming out. We're missing at the moment Rob and Tristan Winterburn and Gary Jackson and Carl Blythe. And I think this is another reserve that's coming out. We've already got reserve Will Offen and Andy Wood on the line. They're riding as number 80 this afternoon. And we've just heard from the Brits that Tony Penfold is joining the lineup as well, so he'll take the place of Gary Jackson in grid 3. So you've got 80, Will Offen and Andy Wood in place of Rob and Tristan Winterburn. And Tony Penfold and Carl Bell riding number 3 by the look of it. And I suspect they will take grid 3. As you can probably see from all around the circuit, there's problems for Tony Penfold. I think he's letting them go. John Halsey has made the best of the starts as they go into that first turn. It all gets very close for second and third, but it is indeed John Halsey and Jason Glennie that have got away. Ivor Matthews moves himself up into second place to get a nose in front of Matt Frummerola. But as those positions change, you can see that John Halsey and Jason Glennie have kind of taken control as they come down past me. Kevin Williams looks over his shoulder on the back of Ivor Matthews for this afternoon. He knows that Matt Frummerola is in close company. And as the race goes on, you can see that the gaps begin to open up. Last lap flag being prepared for John Halsey and Jason Glennie. Being in this position, they won't mind that the races have been cut down to 3 laps. And a big gap from third place to our reserve Will Offen and Andy Wood out for the first time. Paul Bickley and Paul Silvera. And there's problems for Ivor Matthews on the far side. Well, he'll be able to keep the outfit going to get that at least third place. John Halsey gets the win. That's their second of the afternoon. Matt Frummerola and Andy Wilson in second, and Ivor Matthews does do enough to get that third place. And it looks as if he's got what you would call a dramatic puncher. The outfit running on the rim. So a very comfortable ride for outfit number 13. That's John Halsey and Jason Glennie. They take race 12. In second place to them, number 5, Matt Frummerola and Andy Wilson. Third place, as you can see, disappearing off into the pits with a severe back wheel puncher. Number 15, Ivor Matthews and Kevin Williams. In fourth place, number 80. That's our reserve, Will Offen and Andy Wood. And fifth place, number 8. That's Paul Bickley, Paul Silvera. 121.16 was the winning time, 121.16. 49.59 they average, 49.59. Oh, we saw one of our first leg winners go in race 12. We see another go in race 13. That's number 25, Colin Blackburn and Paul Whitelam Jr. They're in fact on grid 2, so we have seen quite a few good starts from those inside gates. Number 92, Paul Whitelam comes to the line. He had a second first time out. 60, Richard Thomas, he had a third place first time out. So all 6 on the line who will get the best of this start line. You can see distinctly what happens going into that first turn. If you can get your outfit into that first turn, absolutely fill everybody else in and make it twice as hard for them to get around the bend. Underway for Whitelam's had a good one. Colin Blackbourne's there as well. Richard Thomas right on the outside. So they all lock up in that first bend. Colin Blackbourne trying to work his way through, and does so as he comes out of that first turn. He gets the nose in front of Paul Whitelam as they go up the back straight. Richard Thomas and Craig Palmer still in contention with them, and closes right up on Paul Whitelam. There's problems for Paul Whitelam as he almost put it sideways. Tremendous driving from both those riders as Richard Thomas finds the gap on the inside. Paul Whitelam managed to hang on to it, and he slotted back into third place. But Colin Blackbourne doing exactly the same as he did in his first ride this afternoon. Gets his nose in front, but Richard Thomas closing on him as they go up that back straight. I was going to say he's getting it all his own way and riding comfortably, but Richard Thomas is not letting him get away, and he closes right up on him as he comes past us and gets the last lap flag. Now, right on the back wheel, will he make a challenge? He looks for a gap on the inside. Well, it's all very, very tight in that bottom turn. Richard Thomas losing it slightly as he comes out of the bend, but he's got a good tight line going into this top turn. Colin Blackbourne goes wide. Will he leave a gap? Well, it's certainly not close enough now, as Colin Blackbourne looks to have done enough, and he comes past us and gets his second win of the afternoon. Good ride from Richard Thomas and Craig Palmer. They get second place. Paul Whitelam, after that early scare, does indeed get third place. Oh, fascinating to see the time of this one. Race 13 it was, and a very good win for number 25, Colin Blackbourne and Paul Whitelam Jr. But they were pushed all the way, and you'll see that reflected in the time. It was in second place, number 60, Richard Thomas and Craig Palmer. Third place, number 92, Paul Whitelam and Terry Souters. And in fourth place, number 18, Peter Lloyd and Terry Madley. Fifth place there, number 4, James Rogers and Chris Wall. Sixth place, number 87, Ian Lee Amos and Simon Beanie. The winning time, 117.64, 117.64, averaging 51.83. So I mentioned that he was pushed all the way. A very, very quick time indeed of 117.64. Race 14, well, we've seen two of the first leg winners. They've gone out and got wins as well. That's John Halsey and Jason Glennie in race 12. Colin Blackbourne and Paul Whitelam have done it in race 13. The interesting thing in race 14 is that we've got two first leg winners. They can't both make it 2 out of 2. Matt Tyrrell and Sean Yates is one of them. Number 9, Miles Simmons and Kevin Woodley is the other. So will either one of them be able to make it 2 out of 2, or is somebody else going to spoil it for them? Number 24, Rob Wilson and Ian Whale. They had a third place first time out. And as they get underway, Rob Wilson made a good one from the outside. Well, he's trying to get the edge as he goes into that first turn, but it's Matt Tyrrell that's got the lead. Oh, Miles Simmons in third place at the moment. I think that's John Hiscock that's fighting for that second place and pushing hard to get the lead. Oh, they sort themselves out coming around that top bend. Matt Tyrrell under a lot of pressure from John Hiscock, and John Hiscock gets it. He's found a gap on the inside and got himself through. He takes over the lead. Matt Tyrrell's still there in second. Miles Simmons in very close contention as well. He sits in third place at the moment, trying to find a gap to get through on the inside. No gap appears, so he has to sit in third as they go up the back straight. Rob Wilson's not out of contention as well. He closes up on the back wheel of Miles Simmons. So all the action in that second, third and fourth place, as John Hiscock has now started to pull away a little bit. He knows the battle's going on behind him. Miles Simmons again looks for a way through. Matt Tyrrell tries to keep the doors shut. And he's making Miles Simmons work very, very hard to try and get that second place. And he hangs on to it brilliantly as he comes out of that pit bend and up the back straight. Well, I'm sure Rob Wilson can see exactly what's going on in front of him. Any error from those two and Rob Wilson will take both of them in one hit. But it's going to be the checkered flag. It's not going to happen. Matt Tyrrell gets second, Miles Simmons in third, Rob Wilson in fourth. So race 14 it was. It completes all the second leg rides, so we add the points up and see how the overall tally looks. A win for number 184, John Hiscock and Gareth Bemister. In second place, number 69, Matt Tyrrell and Sean Yates. In third place, number 9, Miles Simmons and Kevin Woodley. In fourth place, number 24, Rob Wilson and Ian Whale. In fifth place, number 7, Paul Johnson and Kevin Colborne. And in a winning time, sixth place there I should say, number 21, Simon Wall and Kevin Jones. 119.4 119.99, in fact 119.99, 50.31 they average, 50.31. So, as we now complete the second leg rides, we go over the page, in fact over 2 pages, not forgetting to read all the adverts as you go through, and enjoy the photographs as well. Oh blimey, there's loads of them. Right, we go right over to page 19, and it's race 15. We're with the third leg of the solos, Colin.
Thank you very much, Jim. The programme change of Jamie Rogers, number 19 for Dave Mears. I can see that Mitch Godden's out there, number 9, obviously the reserve coming in for this one. Just looking to see who's possibly missing from the grid as Mitch Godden is coming in for his second ride. The situation with the solos, Jason Handley, Theo Piper, Rennie Van Weel and Calvin Tatum are all equal top with 18 points after 2 legs, so it's desperately tight as regards the solo. Jamie Rogers pulls on the middle of the track. He's obviously got bike problems there before coming into line for race 15. Red flags are still up on the track, so Jamie dropped it the last time out while pushing hard in second place. It looks to me maybe a non-starter for race number 15. We can see that they're still waiting for riders to come out from the pits for this race 15, the start of the third leg of these solos. Thomas Cooper there towards the inside. We've got Neville Tatum next to him. Then we've got number 98, Christophe Dubinard. Then we've got Andrew Appleton. Then we've got the reserve, Mitch Godden. And then we've got number 86, Paul Hurry, on the outside of the moment. Number 10 is the next one. Janet De Jong comes in. It looks as if it's possibly Dean Barker that's not come out for race 15. So Mitch Godden replacing Dean Barker in this race number 15. Starting now, of course, absolutely crucial. We saw some fabulous racing in the last heat of the solos. Very tight, Mitch Godden and Paul Hurry on the 2 outside. Mitch Godden gets an absolute fire. Paul Hurry goes with him. Andrew Appleton gets in the action well. Neville Tatum takes the inside line into the top corner. Mitch Godden who leads him, but Paul Hurry's gone round the outside. Hurry leads him, but Godden in second. Appleton gets so on the inside of Godden, and he gets to inside Hurry as well. Tremendous ride there for Andrew Appleton going down the back straight on the first lap. It's Appleton who leads them, but Hurry in second. Godden is in third. What a ride there by Andrew Appleton going down that back straight. He leads him, but Paul Hurry in second. Neville Tatum in third, pushing Mitch Godden to forward. Mitch Godden gets back round the outside to retake that third place, and Hurry and Appleton absolutely shoulder to shoulder going down the back straight, and Paul Hurry gets back through on the inside of Andrew Appleton. Fabulous racing in these difficult conditions as Hurry is the leader. He lifts coming out of that pits corner. Can Andrew Appleton close the gap? And Hurry's going to face, he can't see where he's going. Andrew Appleton closing right up with him as they go in the top turn once again. Godden's got back to third. Jean was in fourth. We've lost Neville Tatum on that third lap as the leading two go down the back straight once again. It's still Paul Hurry, slowly but surely pulling away from Andrew Appleton. Mitch Godden hanging on to that third place position as the last checkered flag is out there. A win there for Paul Hurry. Second, it's Andrew Appleton. Third place is going to be to reserve Mitch Godden. Picked up another good ride there when he comes in as the reserve. Fourth should be number 10. In fact, it's number 98, Christophe Dubinard in fourth. Thomas Cooper is in 5. And Janet De Jong in 6th place. And Paul Hurry doing an extra lap in race 15. Race 15 result to win for number 86, Paul Hurry. Second, number 4, Andrew Appleton. And third, number 9, the reserve, Mitch Godden. 98, 153, and number 10. 1 minute 6.50, 1 minute 6.50, another quick time, 60.52 miles per hour. 60.52 miles per hour. Race 16 then should be a cracker because we've got Calvin Tatum and Glenn Phillips, and Glenn beat Calvin the last time they were out, and Theo Piper is amongst the leading 4, so we've got 3 of the top scorers so far to battle in this race number 16. As per programme for race 16, just waiting for 97 Philip Austin to come into line. We've got 1 or 2 riders missing from race number 16. Can't see number 23 Edward Kennedy out there. Pits gates are shut, so what's the gates? What we go with for race 16. Tatum gets an absolute far. Theo Piper's gone with him. Glenn Phillips hasn't made the best of starts as Tatum gets a corner first. Piper in second. Phillips goes round the outside of that top corner, but can't with the drive this time. He's not back in third place with a face full of mud there in this third place position as Tatum leads them from Piper in second. Phillips is in third. That's the top three. Tatum getting absolute fire from the middle of the grid. He's making it count now in race number 16. Tatum leads it from Piper in second place. It's Phillips in third. With Rayford in fourth. The 99. Jamie Isherwood is in 5 and 97, but the Boston is in 6th place. And Theo Piper making a move. He dives from the inside of Calvin Tatum on the entry to that pits corner. Really cool. Calvin Tatum out halfway down that back straight, and it's Piper leads it now from Tatum in second. Piper leads on the last lap from Tatum in second place. It's Phillips starting to close the gap in third. They get a little bit spread out now on lap number 3. And Glenn Phillips having to go for that second place of Calvin Tatum as Theo Piper storms down the back straight on lap 3 to pick up another race win in race number 16. And again Phillips is having to go at Tatum for that second place position as Theo Piper wins it. It's going to be tight for second in third, and Phillips has got thrown into Tatum to get the second place. Phillips gets a second, Tatum is in third. We look for the rest of the field to come across the line. It's number 97, Philip Austin in 4th, Jamie Isherwood in 5, Steve Brayford in 6th place. Good racing again in race 16, a win for number 89, Theo Piper. Second, number 42, Glenn Phillips, and third, number 1, Calvin Tatum. 97, 99, 215. Winning time 1 minute 6.90, 1 minute 6.90, 60.16 miles per hour, 60.16 miles per hour. Number 20 in race 17 is Martin Sturgeon, 44 is Vince Kinchin, and number 11 is Stephen Catt. Jason Hanley, of course, who's in that leading group of riders, needs to win this one to keep pace with Theo Piper, who just won the last race. Jason Hanley 4th on the inside there, Banks up towards the outside. Vincent Kinchin comes in next to him. Martin Sturgeon right on the outside. Number 8 Rennie Van Weel also in that leading group. He's towards the inside of the grid. Richard Smith right on the inside as they settle then for race 17. Start looking loose, one to race, a good start. Hanley's got to win with Trevor Banks also in the thick of the axis. Banks will lead into that top corner. Jason Hanley trying to get through on the inside. Oh, when Jason Hanley lifts in a big way, pushes Trevor Banks in that top corner, and Trevor Banks has dropped it over on the far side. Interesting one for the marshals to sort about that one, as Trevor Banks is still trapped over on the far side of the track. As Jason Hanley leads and they come by us to complete the first one. There with the yellow flags out. Hanley leads it, but Smith has gone through into second place. Daniel Gifford's got the third. Stephen Catt's in 4. Yellow flags are at the moment. And still Jason Hanley clear going to the back straight. A long way clear of Richard Smith. Looks like Gifford hanging on to that third place position. He could lose that third place. Somebody closing up there as they go into that pits corner once again. Jason Hanley trying to look behind him. He's got a big lead at the front. Number 95, Jason Hanley from Richard Smith holding that second place. It's Gifford in third. There's Rennie Van Weel now looking for that third place and dives from on the inside. No, he doesn't quite get that third place. Gifford holds him at bay as they go down the back straight for the one more time. And coming out of that pits corner, Jason Hanley lifts alarmingly again, uses every inch of the track, but Jason Hanley gets the winning ride. It's going to be Richard Smith to pick up the second place position. Drama in race number 17. Richard Smith wins it from Rennie Van Weel, who's got for the third. Daniel Gifford is in 4. Stephen Catt in 5. Vince Kinchin in 6th place. Drama in race number 17, particularly on that first corner of the first lap. The result is a win for number 95, Jason Handley. Second, number 33, Richard Smith. And third, number 8, Rennie Van Weel. 22. 11, 44, and number 20. 1 minute 7.47, 1 minute 7.47, 59.65 miles per hour, 59.65 miles per hour. Back to the sidecars, their third leg, over the gym for race 18.
Well, thanks Colin. Indeed, as the afternoon unfolds, a very, very interesting burn-up we've got out here this afternoon. It's changing positions all the time. We suspect that the conditions are very tough for the riders once they get themselves back in second and third place. But as you can see from all of those heats there in the third leg of the solos, some very tough competition. And I don't think at this stage of the afternoon we can really predict who's going to do the winning. Turning our attention to the sidecars then, top of the point scoring at the moment are number 13 John Halsey and Jason Glennie, they're unbeaten on 14. Number 25 Colin Blackburn and Paul Whitelam also unbeaten, though both go respectively in race 19 and 20. Top of the point scorer is really going in race 18. Matt Frumroller, number 5, is on 10 points from 2 rides. And Paul Whitelam, Terry Sauters, they're on 9 points from 2 rides. I can see that we've got the reserve number 80 Will Offen and Andy Wood out. And at the moment it looks like there's no Duncan Tolhurst and Carl Pugh. Getting underway, and Paul Whitelam has made the best of the starts for sure, but Matt Frumroller with a great turn going into that first turn. Dived across the inside. He looked to be going in wide, changed his mind, come underneath Paul Whitelam, and he's got himself out in front. Out into the top bend he goes, and indeed it is Matt Frumroller and Andy Wilson who are setting the pace on this one. Paul Whitelam in second place, that's Rob Winterburn and Tristan Winterburn in third. Whilst I can see that that's Peter Lloyd and Terry Madley in fourth. Eyes at the moment most certainly on those front two as Matt Frumroller looks to be having things comfortable, but he's gone very wide coming out of that top bend. Paul Whitelam has seen it, and Paul Whitelam comes underneath him. I thought that he'd overcooked it in the middle of that top bend. Paul Whitelam saw it as well, but Matt Frumroller's not giving up. He wants to come back at Paul Whitelam as they go around that pit turn. Paul Whitelam accelerates up the back straight. It will be checkered flag this time for them. Both of these riders won't mind scoring these top points in this third leg ride. Oh, to the checkered flag they go. Paul Whitelam, I'm sure, is most pleased with that one. Looked as if he was going to be having to sit into second place, but then made a great move on that top turn. Gets himself maximum points. Race 18, and it's a win for outfit number 92, Paul Whitelam and passenger Terry Sauters. Second place here, number 5, Matt Frumroller and Andy Wilson, the early leaders. And in third place, number 48, Rob and Tristan Winterburn. Fourth place, number 18, Peter Lloyd and Terry Madley. Fifth place, our reserve, number 80, Will Offen and Andy Wood. The winning time, 120.05, 120.05, 50.27. That's what they average, 50.27. So we now know that Paul Whitelam has moved on from his 9 points to 16. And in race 19, we get a chance to see the competition joint leader at the moment, John Halsey and Jason Glennie. So, can Rob Wilson turn it round in this one? Him and Ivor Matthews not doing the best of scoring so far from their first two rides. They're up against the joint leader, number 13, John Halsey and Jason Glennie. In fact, John Halsey right on the inside, both John and Jason not happy with any of the starting positions they can see. Well, the starter anxiously calling Ivor Matthews into the line. Starter moves away, up goes the tape. Rob Wilson made a good start. John Halsey's made a good one on the inside. Oh, there's problems for John Halsey as I say that. He pulls off into the centre green. Rob Wilson has made the best of the starts and into the first turn. He leads as he goes up the back straight. It looks to me like Clive Stoneman and Roland Broomfield have got into second and confirm that when they come round. But certainly, looking down on that first turn, it's concern for John Halsey and Jason Glennie. Although they're leading the competition at the moment, they won't score in this third ride. Well, Rob Wilson doing exactly what he had to do. He knew he had to get a good score this time. As he goes up the back straight, looking very comfortable indeed. It is Clive Stoneman and Roland Broomfield in second place. As they go off that top turn, it's already the last lap flag that's being presented to them. We could see a change in this second place. James Rogers and Chris Wall very, very close to Clive Stoneman. If that battle develops, it's going to mean that Rob Wilson's position is even safer. As he goes round that top turn, well, he's going to get close for that second place. You can see that James Rogers has tried the outside line. He'll try and cut back underneath on the exit of the bend, but Clive Stoneman looks to have done enough. Clive Stoneman gets the second place, but a very convincing victory for number 24, Rob Wilson. Better check my list. Of course, Kevin Williams. And in fifth place, number 51, Rick McCauley and Phil Stoneman. 118.48 was the winning time, 118.48, 51.28 the average speed, 51.28. So we now know that Rob Wilson adds maximum 7 points to, he's already scored 7, which takes him on to 14 overall. And as my learned colleagues next to me point out, that means after 3 rides, Rob Wilson moves on to the same points as John Halsey. And already we know that Paul Whitelam has 16 overall. But going in race 20, we've got number 25, that's Colin Blackburn and Paul Whitelam. They equally lead the competition after 2 rides. And of course they may well sit in that pit gate wondering what they can do this time, as they know that the joint leader after 2 rides, John Halsey and Jason Glennie, have failed to score in their 3rd ride. On number 9, Miles Simmons and Kevin Woodley, they've amassed a fair amount of points. They're on 11 after 2 rides. They get underway. Colin Blackburn's made a very good start. Well, he noses his way in front as he gets into that first turn. That's exactly what he would want to have done. Miles Simmons back in 3rd. You see there's lots of changes going on at the back positions. At the moment we've got out in front the early leader, the competition leader at the moment, number 25, Colin Blackburn. Matt Tyrrell and Sean Yates have slotting into 2nd place, Miles Simmons in 3rd. That's how they sit at the moment. And there really is a gap opening up between 1st and 2nd. We've seen Matt Tyrrell, of course, have a win earlier on this afternoon. He's no slouch whatsoever, and that does seem to be quite a gap opening up between 1st and 2nd. Well, as we're trying to pick up the tail enders who've been absolutely filled in. See the checker flag being made ready, and this is going to be what turned out to be a very comfortable win for number 25, Colin Blackburn and Paul Whitelam Jr. Matt Tyrrell finishes in 2nd, Miles Simmons in 3rd. but that really was a very comfortable win and keeps him right out in front of the competition. Number 25, Colin Blackburn and Paul Whitelam Jr. So, race 20 it was then, a win for number 25. I said that enough times, didn't I? But I'm sure you've all got it in your programme now. Colin Blackburn and Paul Whitelam Jr. Second place, number 69, Matt Tyrrell and Sean Yates. Third place, number 9, Miles Simmons and Kevin Woodley. Fourth place, number 21, Simon Wall and Kevin Jones. And fifth place, number 14, Chris Winterburn and Jamie Laurie. 117.24 was the winning time, 52.10 they averaged. 117.24. Gary Jackson does come out in this one. We should be seeing Richard Thomas, who had a very good ride in his second outing. And I shouldn't ignore the fact that number 184 John Hiscock had a tremendous ride in his second ride. He's elevated himself on to 12 points overall. Get a bike lengths ahead of everybody else before he got into that first turn. Richard Thomas is the outfit that stayed with him though. Those two together as they go up the back straight. Well, there's all sorts of things happening behind them, so they've left the rest of the field behind. But those two outfits together as they go into that top turn. Well, Richard Thomas getting very, very close to John Hiscock. John trying to keep the door closed. Richard Thomas has stayed on the inside of him, looking for a way through. He might be forced to go wide. As I say that, has he got the gap on the inside? I think he has. Oh, Richard Thomas moves through and takes over the lead from John Hiscock. But there is that big, big gap between second and third place, so I don't think there's going to be any other changes unless John Hiscock can get back at Richard Thomas. As I say that, he's starting to pull away though. Into the last lap he goes. Craig Palmer working well on the back of Richard Thomas. The first time this pairing's been together. But not the best conditions to try and get used to different outfits and different drivers, that's for sure. But up the back straight they go, and John Hiscock has seen a chance. He's closed the gap a lot on that back straight. He picked up some drive coming out of that pit turn, and he's caught right back up to the back wheel of Richard Thomas. But too little, too late. A win for Richard Thomas and Craig Parmenter. Second place to them, John Hiscock and Gareth Bemister. And a win for number 60, Richard Thomas and Craig Parmenter. In second place, number 184, John Hiscock and Gareth Bemister. In third place, number 87, Ian Lee Amos and Simon Beanie. In fourth place, number 514, Ryan Partridge and Andy Colvin. 118.56 was the winning time, 118.56, an average of 51.23. And I've got to say, before we turn over the page and go to page 20, have you looked at that picture on page 18? Now, if you ever ask the question, does Paul Hurry and family take racing seriously? Look at the expression on that nipper's face. 1985 that was, and we know that it's been a great success story ever since. Over the page we go, and some fabulous pictures of the Bloodlet meeting way back in the middle of the summer, as we now move to the final qualifying legs. It's leg 4 for the Burn-Up Solo.
Thank you very much indeed, Jim, and it's building up to quite a crescendo now as you move into these final 4 heats. Race 22, you've got the equal meeting leader Theo Piper, who is equal first with Jason Hanley. Glenn Phillips very much in contention, as is Paul Hurry. Mitch Gobner's come in as a reserve again, probably again for Dean Barker for race number 22. So we've got 89, that's Theo Piper, equal meeting leader on the inside. Paul Hurry next to him, then Glenn Phillips next to him. Then we've got Yannick Dijon, then we've got Mitch Gobner, and on the south side, 98, Christophe Dubernard. Looks as if Steve Rayford hasn't come out for race number 22. There is Trevor Banks come out for race number 22. Of course, went down in the last leg. Away they go. Paul Hurry making a good stop. The 05 has gone with him. Glenn Phillips, but Mitch Godden in fact leads him into that top corner. It's Godden who leads in the back straight the first time. Paul Hurry trying to come through on the inside. Glenn Phillips in third with Theo Piper in fourth, and Mitch Godden's really put the cat amongst the pigeons. But Paul Hurry's gone through on the inside of Mitch Godden's. They go into the pits corner for the first time then. It's Hurry who leads it, and Godden in second. It's Phillips in third with Piper in fourth. This could upset the scoring here as Paul Hurry leads down the back straight once again. Phillips slides his way through on the inside of Godden to move through into second place, but Phillips gets tremendous lift. Coming off that top corner, gets the front wheel down again. Theo Piper looking for that third place of Mitch Godden, but Mitch Godden hanging on to that third place. And that's allowing Paul Hurry to pull away at the front as they move on to the final lap. It's Paul Hurry who leads it, and Glenn Phillips in second. Now Theo Piper's gone through the third, relegating Mitch Godden to fourth. We've got number 98 in fifth place, just the five runners going there as they go to the back straight once again. It's still Paul Hurry, well clear the front, and Theo Piper making a move on Glenn Phillips. They dive into the pits corner for the final time. Could be an interesting last corner for second and third place as Paul Hurry picks up a crucial race win again. It's tied for second and third. Oh, and Glenn Phillips eased off as he hung on to that second place. Mitch Godden gets the fourth. Then we've got number 98, Christophe Dubernard. And the final one across the line is number 10, Yannick de Jong. 86, Paul Hurry. Second, just hanging on to it in second place, number 42, Glenn Phillips. And third, number 89, Theo Piper. 9, 98, and number 10. Winning time, 1 minute 8.99, 1 minute 8.99. 58.33 miles an hour, 58.33 miles an hour. Race number 23, number 20 will be Martin Sturgeon, number 44 will be Vince Kinchin. Jason Handley obviously just saw that race. If he were to go ahead and win this race, he would be the top scorer after the 4 qualifying rounds for the 2005 Burn-Up. So vital races for Jason Handley, could go into the final as the top scorer if he wins race number 23. But in these conditions, anything can happen. Neville Tatum is the rider who wait for to come into line to go into gate number 2. Calvin Tatum as well coming into line, so it's Jason Handley and Calvin Tatum to scrapping it again in this race number 23. They settle at the line in 4.23, and Tatum gets an absolute fire. Jason Handley's last away as Tatum gets into the corner first. Looks like Gibbert's gone through in the second place. Neville Tatum taking the quick, and Jason Handley's absolutely filled in at the back there. He's back in about 6th or 7th place, so disaster for Jason Handley on that first corner. As it's Calvin Tatum who leads into the pits corner for the first time, and Handley a real mountain to climb now, back in 6th place with only 3 laps to claw the points back then. As Tatum leads it from Van Wheel has gone through into second place. 25 Neville Tatum holds the third with Vince Kinchin in 4th place. Jason Handley not making any ground up at the moment as they go down the back straight once again. Tatum making the most of that quick start, looks back to see Van Wheel still holding that second. Vince Kinchin's gone through in the third with Neville Tatum in 4th. Now Jason Handley's starting to make a move to the field. He's gone for the 5th, he's gone for the 4th. He's looking for that third place finish as Tatum as the leader, with Van Wheel closing up in second place, and Handley's gone for the third. He's picked up 3 places already as they go to the back straight once again. Tatum leads it then from Van Wheel in second. Van Wheel trying to close the gap in second place, looking to make a move on Tatum as they enter that pits corner once again. It's Tatum holding the inside line, Van Wheel going a little bit wider. Handley definitely closing up on third. The checkered flag comes out for Calvin Tatum. Second is Rennie Van Wheel. Third place is Jason Handley. 4th is Vince Kinchin. 5 is number 22, Daniel Gifford, and 6, 153, Thomas Cooper. And the final one to come across the line, it's number 20, Martin Sturgeon. Result quickly of race 23, win for number 1, Calvin Tatum. Second, number 8, Rennie Van Wheel. And third, number 95, Jason Handley. 44, 22, 153, and 20. Winning time 1 minute 11.03, 1 minute 11.03, 56.66 miles an hour, 56.66 miles an hour. At the gate for race 24, Jamie Rogers today, Leah Stephen Cat, and where they go Andrew Appleton making a good start. Stephen Cat is the rider that goes with him. Richard Smith holds the third place as Appleton leads in the back straight for the first time. Smith goes through into that second place with Cat in third. That's the leading 3 down the back straight for the first time in race number 24, the final leg of heat of the 4th leg of the Burn-Up Solos for 2005. It's Andrew Appleton. The win here puts him very much amongst the high points. Richard Smith holds that 2nd place, and Stefan Cat in 3rd. Philip Austin is in 4th. That's the top 4 as they go in the back straight once again then. It is still Andrew Appleton really storming away with this one. Richard Smith consolidating that 2nd place. Stefan Cat trying to close the gap in 3rd. As the last lap flag out then for number 4, Andrew Appleton. Clear into that top corner for the tunnel side. Richard Smith holds the 2nd place. Stefan Cat is in 3rd. We've got riders gone down over on the back side there, so the red flags are out. Red flags are out for